You haven't failed SBL yet. There's 14 days to go to save your pass and make sure you get over the line. This video is going to give you a proven methodology for those last 2 weeks. And it's proven because we use this method on all of our Club SBL courses, and it really, really works. So we're breaking this down by stages, day by day of your study, from when the pre-scene is released on that Tuesday morning, 2 weeks before the exam, right up until exam day. And keep watching till the end, because day 14 has got something very, very surprising in it. So Andrew, over to you for the first bit.
Brilliant. So days 1 to 3. Day 1 is the Tuesday that the pre-scene is released. It's like Christmas Day, isn't it, Ben? It's so exciting. The pre-scene comes out and everyone thinks, I need to do loads of stuff. And first thing I'd say is, right, let's just calm down a little bit. The pre-scene's useful, but it isn't necessarily going to guarantee that you pass the exam. So what you should do in days 1 to 3, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, read it for yourself. That's the very, very first thing. Read it yourself. Don't watch anything about it yet. Don't put it into AI and ask it to analyze it or anything. Just read it from start to finish and make your own notes as you go through. Highlight bits. Yeah, annotate it. Do what you want. But it's all about you doing the analysis, not watching someone else do it yet, or not, like I said, again, Gemini or ChatGPT to analyze it for you. You just need to do it yourself. Once you've done that and you've read through it and you've taken it all in, then you can start doing your own analysis. So there's some great models for that, like a SWOT analysis. PESTLE is a really good one as well. Porter's 5 forces. And then people think, but how do I know if I got it right? Like, have I done this right? Is this the right SWOT? It doesn't matter, does it? It's the process of doing that. And that is what is important. It's you taking this information and summarizing it and put it into those categories. Is that a weakness or is it a threat? It doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't matter. But what does matter is you've thought about it. You've done that process and that'll help you to understand it. And then once you've done that, you can then start having a look at some of the key topics. There'll be things in there that you think, oh, okay, that could be in the exam. Like we did one recently, Ben, didn't we, about hotels, and it kept mentioning about loads of hotel chains are franchises, but our hotel chain wasn't. So let's go and read up on franchises. Let's remind ourselves and understand that topic just in case it does come up on the exam. So the key thing at this point is don't waste time watching loads of other stuff, doing loads of other research, buying extra bits that you don't necessarily need. It's all about you and you understanding that pre-scene to start with.
But Andrew, if they were going to watch one piece of analysis, who should it be?
Well, that's a very good question. I say don't watch anything, but you definitely should watch Club SBL's analysis of the pre-scene. We're going to put some analysis out there when the pre-scene is released, and it's going to be short, it's going to be concise, it's going to be to the point, and it's going to be exactly what you need for the exam. So you don't need to
and the difference
hours.
with ours is it is short, isn't it? It's like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It isn't going to take hours and hours to watch.
Exactly. That's it. Right, Ben, over to you. So I've done days 1 to 3. What's coming up next?
Okay. So now it's the weekend. You've been at work probably whilst doing those first few days that Andrew suggested of analysis. The weekend has come and you've got more time now to do some more in-depth tasks. Well, this is no surprise to you. You have to practice your exam technique. Got to. And that means doing full exam questions to time. But you're thinking, where do I get these full exam questions from on this case study? Because there isn't a textbook or something I can buy that has all these questions because the case study's only just been released. Well, if you're on our course, then we've created a bank for you for your case study. But if you're doing this for yourself, there's a really good tool or technique you can use. And that is to go back to some past cases and find one that is similar to this case study. So the recent case study was on vet practices. And that's a service industry. And they did some retail, selling vet products. So if you went back over previous case studies, you would find other cases that are service sector and retail. And what you can do is use the exam from one of those previous cases that's in a similar sector. And literally all you do is you change the name of the company. So you answer it as if it is your company and your pre-scene that you're working for as your starting point. Now, it's not perfect. It's not the very best thing you can do, but it is a really good way of getting exam standard and exam quality questions, because they are past exam questions, and for you to practice your exam technique and your timings. So you're doing at least a full mock exam to time, all 3 questions. Ideally, you're doing it in one sitting. If not, you're doing each individual question in that exam to time, and you are debriefing it fully. And that means grading your answer, critical evaluation of it, and reviewing it against the model answer, and reading the examiner's comments for things that people struggled with that exam paper. And actually what you'll find is a lot of the questions that are in those previous cases will be super, super relevant to your case study, because a lot of the time they are quite generic questions. So Andrew, that's my little weekend plan, doing that across the weekend. But would you say that students should just be studying in that weekend? Is that all they should be doing?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, SBL is, there's a lot going on, isn't there? And a lot of it's about how you perform on the day. It's about how you're feeling on exam day and how you do that. So looking after yourself is really important, isn't it? So looking after yourself and getting yourself in physical shape and mental shape for the exam. So yeah, what do you recommend, Ben, that weekend, that first weekend?
You're living it, Andrew. You're clearly in your, I'm taking this seriously wearing my work shirt. You are in your exercise gear because you live at the gym, don't you?
I do, yeah. I've been to the gym this morning, done my calisthenics class, doing some ropes and doing all sorts of things on the hoops and things. I've done all that. Yeah, exercise, super important. Yeah,
great. And that burns off some nervous energy, which I think is really helpful. Full of positive emotions, endorphins, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, and that positivity actually carries you through your studies. It does. And that feeling good means you're absorbing more, and even better, right? That feeling good and feeling physically tired means you're more likely to sleep well.
Good point.
And sleep is when you are processing all of that learning and your brain is taking it on board. So you will get more out of your study sessions, more long-term value out of them if you're sleeping well, if you're keeping up with your exercise. And that's
absolutely. And actually, you know what?
Plenty of exercise over the weekend and resting well.
Yeah. You also, you do some really good thinking, don't you? When I go for a run, I'll be thinking about stuff and you get some good thoughts. Oh, I'll do this later. And it helps you clear your head. So yeah, really important.
Totally. Right. So that was weekend number 1. Now we're through to, so I've taken day 4, 5, 6. Up to day 7 for you, Andrew.
So we're on Monday now. So the Monday before the exam week starts.
Week and a bit to go.
Yeah, week and a bit to go. So we're doing the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, day 7 through to day 10. So a lot of you will be back at work at this point. So again, it's not going to be too intensive, but what we can do is start thinking about some of the models, maybe in SBL. So some of the big models that you've seen and I'm sure that you love. And you can start thinking, are these relevant for us? Like, could this work in our company? Is this going to be important? And yeah, looking at some of the topics you covered, how could this come up and how would I go about approaching that? You have to be very careful not to prepare answers in SBL, don't you? There's a real risk that people go, oh, if that comes up, I'm going to write this, because you don't know what the exhibit's going to say. You don't know what the exact requirement is. So you can't really pre-prepare, but you can at least think about it. What ethical risks are there? Like, what sort of business risks are they facing? So, and you might then want to think about, some of the specific models that we've come across in the course as well, and start applying those.
Are we doing that so that you memorize the models? Like, should they be learning ANSOS matrix? Is that what's really important?
No. So models aren't tested directly in SBL. They're not going to say to you in the exam, do ANSOS matrix, do Mendelow's matrix. They're not going to say use that. But if you feel that it would be useful to your answer, if there's a question about stakeholders and you want to talk about, they've got high power and low interest, that's fine. Or BCG matrix, if they're talking about some of their products in their portfolio, if you want to bring that into your answers and do that, that's fine. You don't necessarily have to though. So models are a little bit of a risk in SBL in that you don't need to learn them and force them into your answers, but they can just help you to prepare and think about different scenarios that the companies might face.
Yeah. So if you're seeing them as like a framework for you to better understand the case study so that you can then deal with whatever's thrown at you in the exam, that's the mindset, isn't it?
Correct. Absolutely right. The other thing I'd say in that week as well is you've talked about exercising and sleeping. Starting to eat well as well. Like that's the week before the exam we're on now. Starting to eat good food. If you're eating junk food and not cooking for yourself properly, you start feeling lethargic, bloated. Again, you need to be in top shape. So again, I pretty much treat this like I would for a marathon. Like you're preparing for it in the right way, and that will make you feel great. Yeah. So Ben, go on.
And this study as well, Andrew, like students are doing it often after work when they're a bit tired. Should they be like getting stuck into the Red Bull or the Monster or the espresso so that they can get extra study in that evening?
No, like you need to be sleeping well. Like, it's really important. Sleep is so important. This exam, probably more than most, if any ACCA exams, is about how you perform on the day. You don't know what's going to come up. It's about answering the questions, using the right techniques that we love to cover in Club SBL, like planning it properly and your writing style and making sure that you're being really concise and using the exhibits. It's how you do that stuff on the day. It's not the fact that you memorized 60 models because you had an all-nighter on the Thursday night because, like you said, drinking 6 cans of Red Bull. That's not going to help. So it's about resting. It's about moderation and taking care of yourself.
Okay, so we're through that midweek session, and now we're into the second weekend. It's the weekend before the exam, so day 11, 12, and 13. And here I'm going to be suggesting more of the same, like the previous weekend. I want you to do at least one full mock exam. So if in the first weekend you did it as individual questions, then you need to go and find another case study and do it as a full exam to time. Now, this isn't a ridiculously time-pressured exam, but there is time pressure there. And you've got to get used to that feeling. So doing a full exam to time on your case study, super, super important. And I'm suggesting at least one. Ideally, you're doing 2. And I just wanted to say that maybe one on the one day of the weekend, the Saturday, one on the Sunday or the Friday, or however you're doing it. I wanted to deal with something here that students often ask about, which is marking. And should I get ChatGPT to mark my answer? Is that helpful? And the painful answer for you with that is it's not very helpful. ChatGPT will be looking at the examiner's answer, which is completely unrealistic, and comparing your answer to that and telling you that, and so it's way off. And the other thing it does, actually, Andrew, have you ever asked ChatGPT if you're good looking?
No, I haven't actually. But
have you not?
Have you?
What do you think it would say?
I know what it's going to say. It's going to tell me that I'm the best looking person that's ever existed, and so that is so positive, handsome. Isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's
I mean, I obviously haven't asked it, but if I did ask it, it might tell me that my chiseled jawline and my salt and pepper hair tones really bring out the color of my eyes and add to my debonairness.
You've not made that up. Your salt and pepper.
Absolutely not.
He's done it. He's done it today. This was yesterday. You were checking.
But ChatGPT will tell you that you are beautiful and amazing and misunderstood, and that your answer is definitely a pass.
Yeah. Oh no, prize winner. Prize.
Probably not. Right. Yeah. So it won't. If you are going to use it, tell it to be super critical. Yeah, because otherwise it will tell you you're amazing when you're probably not. But best not to use it. Best to have an expert tutor to mark it for you and give you insightful feedback. Where could they go for that, Andrew?
Oh, that's a good question. Club SBL, we give you loads of detailed feedback. How you could turn that point into something that earns a mark. Overall, your structure, your layout, all those sorts of bits of insight that we can give. And we've helped so many. It's so satisfying, isn't it? Taking a student who's got the right ideas but can't quite almost translate it into a good script, just with a few bits of feedback, and then the next time they submit it, you can see it's like, now you're there. So then when they pass, it's brilliant. It's so satisfying.
Okay, so that weekend, couple of mock exams, and still keeping up with your exercise, still keeping up with your sleeping well, you're eating well, and not getting too heavily into the caffeine. Andrew, what about the surprise then? What's happening on day 14?
So day 14 is the day before the exam. So this is the Monday before the exam, and really, really important day this. So you're going to get up and have some breakfast, and then you're going to go to your laptop or your computer, whatever it is, and you brace yourself, and then you're going to put it in the drawer, and you're going to shut the drawer, and you're not going to open it. And then that day, I would do some exercise. So again, I'd probably go for a run or go to the gym, go for some lunch, maybe have a sports massage. You got me into sports massage, Ben. So have a nice sports massage so you feel nice and loose. I then go and spend time with people who aren't doing ACCA exams and do not care about ACCA. Those people there are lots of them about, by the way. They're not hard to find, those people. So relatives, I always used to spend time with my granddad, who, he was in World War II. These exams, they're nothing to him. This doesn't mean anything, because they just bring you back down to earth. They're not panicking. Oh, what if this comes up? What if that comes up? you are relaxing, you're switching off. Because, as we said, it's all about how you perform on an exam day. And you just need to be nice and calm, trust what you've done, and then you'll be absolutely fine on exam day if you follow.
Because last minute cramming for this exam is a dreadful idea, right? It's not a knowledge exam, and it's just going to tire you out and stress you out. Stay off social media the day before. You will read something that will stress you out if you go looking on LinkedIn or Reddit forums or wherever else. So don't bother. You've put the hard work in, time to deliver, and you'll do that best if you're well rested and in a good frame of mind.
Absolutely. So there we go. 14 days in the build up to the exam. Very, very best of luck with it. If you need our support, you know where we are, Club SBL. We'd be delighted to help you pass SBL.